Well, good morning and welcome back to North Dakota Today. We have some good tips for you to share about getting your vision right. So Steve, I'm sure I don't know his last name.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
The famous Steve Harvey. So you may have seen him on Family Feud. He has a Steve Harvey show. I will admit,
funny guy.
I'm kind of obsessed with the show, but here's one thing that I love about it. If you've never seen it, maybe just go on Facebook or YouTube it. What he does is he has a sit-down time with his audience. I don't know if it's before or after the show, where he'll spend like an extra 20-30 minutes with them, and just like he'll let them ask questions, he'll give them life advice.
He has motivational videos on YouTube as well. I mean, I definitely, if you're struggling today, put on some motivational videos. It really just lightens your mood and creates those positive vibes that you have going on throughout the day, for sure.
For sure. So here's one thing that he did, and I will be honest, I did it about a year ago, and it was huge in my life. And so I'm so excited to share it with you and share it with you guys. So what he did is he read off, starting first, he read off 2 scriptures that changed the course of his life. One of them was James 4:2-3. You have not because you ask not.
Amen.
And I think that was in response to a viewer question, because they're like, things aren't happening for me, and how come my goals aren't being met? And he's like, have you even asked? The second thing is Habakkuk 2:2, write your vision, make it a plan. So here's what he does. He challenges you to make a list. His goal was 300. That's why it's hashtag 300 wish list. Write down everything that you want. It can be from, I want to pay for my kids' college, to I want to buy a boat, to I want to pay rent next week. Literally everything you can think of you want in your life. Try to write 300 things. It's really hard. A lot of people get stuck around 75 like me, but just imagine your ideal life. How many cars do you want? Where do you want to travel? I even added to my list, I want to learn a foreign language, and I started learning French this year. So I was able to check that off the list.
That's awesome. You know, there's also something called a vision board where, you know, if writing's not your best tip, or you don't enjoy that, it's kind of making a collage where you find a magazine, you cut out photos, and you put them on a board, and you wake up and you see that vision every single day. And in my personal opinion, I do agree that no matter where you are today, if you don't make your goals for tomorrow, you'll never get there. But then once you start making that action, you start doing it day after day after day, then you look back 6 months from now or a year from now, and you're just like, wow, I'm a completely different person. Thank you for sharing this. I think this is a great topic.
And then the most important thing that he shares too is, once you write this down, and that's good, it's so important to visualize, but you have to focus on it every day. Whether you're praying, you're just taking time to read through your list every day, you're meditating on the things you wrote on your list. And here's what Steve said. He said, if you do that every day, in 1 year, 10% of those things will have been accomplished. And guess what?
See it, feel it, and it will happen. But you have to feel it, and then of course do a little bit of action. Oh, yeah.
And it worked. I will be honest, it did work for me. There was a lot of things I put on that list. I mean, some of it was like, buy a house, be in a good place with finances, learn French. And I have a lot of goals down the term, like pay for my kids' college, wedding, and stuff like that. And there was legitimately 10% of that list happened. And I think part of it too is because you're so aware and focused on it.
And then all of a sudden you'll notice, like, let's say you're thinking about a particular brand. I've noticed that you start seeing that brand everywhere because your brain, you trained your brain to think about that particular goal. So it's weird. All of a sudden something will pop up and that's directed towards your goal because you subliminally told your brain to think about that goal.
And it does change your patterns. I did notice finances were very prominent in my list. I have learned the last few years how valuable it is to be financially free, to not just be weighed down by debt. And I started noticing I'd go out to eat less. I'd buy less of those Starbucks coffees or whatever. Like, it does put it top of brain, and it helps you to work on it. And then also you get the idea of, like, life is short. You know, if I have this list of things I want to accomplish, why am I not doing it now? Why am I not in a job I love? Why am I not working out? Why am I not learning to cook?
I amen to that. And also surround yourself by positive people, of course.
Yes.
Because if you have those negative or toxic people, you know, obviously, I know some of us might be related to them, so we got to talk to them every so often. But
you can pick your family. That's the thing.
Yes, you know, find those positive friends, and you know, find your 5 best friends. I mean, there's birds of a feather do flock together. So if you need to change a friend set, you know, there's so many social groups here in Fargo. join a new church, you know, find an organization that's directed towards the goals that you want to go towards. Absolutely, because then you'll get right on that success train.
I think that's huge. You have to have people that support you and keep you accountable.
Yes.
And I mean, I guess you could go as far as sharing your list with someone else.
Yeah, someone even offered this advice. If you find yourself to be the smartest person in the room, it's time for you to leave, meaning it's great to surround yourself by people that are educated or some people that you can learn things from.
People that don't always agree with you.
Yes.
That's where we learn a lot. Not you and I. You and I are great, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
But it is important to diversify your friend group. Maybe don't put yourself in an echo chamber.
I think though at our core, at our morals and values, I think we might argue over, you know, small little things, but I think you and I, we have the same morals set. Same political swing, you know, things like that.
It is important in our relationship and in other people's as well. Like, there are going to be things that we're not going to agree on, but we're capable of just kind of either setting that aside or being like, agree to disagree.
Right.
We don't have to fight about it. You don't have to fight, guys.
Amen.
Who needs that drama? We're too old.
Amen to
Too
that.
old for this drama.
You don't always need to prove that you're right. You just learn from it, 100%. And that's so much easier to say than actually do.
Does your pride get bruised sometimes? It can.
Yes.
Just chill out.
All right.
It's fine.
Absolutely. Well, we have more to come. We'll see you here after the break.